Hello, everyone. My name is Dan Ritter, and I'm the tournament director for the online US Open. Milan Milanovic and will be my co-TD, and Katmai will be assisting. Nothing can replace the experience of the in-person US Open. For decades, it has been a cornerstone of the US Go community, bringing together hundreds of players from across the United States and around the world. There is a special magic in coming together to share our passion for Go, and it pains me that we can't do that in person this year. But modern problems require modern solutions. And this year, we're proud to be running our first online Open. This tournament will differ from the regular in-person US Open in a couple of significant ways, but we hope it captures the same spirit of competition and camaraderie. This year's Open will be entirely online using the online Go server, or OGS. There will be fewer rounds, just 4 instead of the usual 6. Playing time is reduced to 1 hour main time with 5 rounds of 30-second Yoyomi, down from 1.5 hours main time. Rounds will take place only on the weekends, with 1 round on August 1st, 2 rounds on August 2nd, and 1 round on August 8th. We will be using AGA rules and McMahon pairing at Handicap -2. Importantly, this tournament will not be rated. You are playing for fun, glory, and of course, prizes. Prizes for winners in each band will include game reviews by professionals, free subscriptions to AI Sensei, and free subscriptions to Guo Zhan's Internet Go School. Full tournament information can be found at the gocongress.org website. Pairs for each round will be posted to the US Open tournament page on that website at least 1 hour before the start of each round. These will be posted as soon as all results are in. TDs will be available by email, as well as in the American Go Association group chat on OGS to make announcements and answer questions. Please don't hesitate to contact us if you have any questions. An important consideration for this online tournament is that once pairings are posted, players will be required to find their own opponents on OGS and create a game with them. Please visit the tournament page at usgocongress.org to check the specific settings that we are using. Okay, everyone, I'm going to walk you through how to get started with OGS, how to find your pair for the online US Open, and how to create a game with the appropriate settings to play your match. So the first thing we want to do is go to the OGS website at online-go.com. We want to go up here to sign in, and hopefully everyone has an account because you needed a username to successfully register for the tournament. So we're going to go ahead and sign in. And I created a test account here called test account 12. So now we're on the OGS main page. There's a lot to explore here, but the first thing that everyone should do is join the AGA group. So up here, there's a groups button that you can click on, and you can search for groups. You can type in AGA and find the AGA or American Go Association group here, or you can type in American Go Association. Once you click on this button, you'll be brought to the American Go Association group room on OGS, and there's a bunch of good information here. Importantly, here is where you will see updates about the US Open, including tournament information for any tournaments that you are playing in, including the US Open. There's also a chat room where you'll be able to connect with people. Importantly, tournament directors and other organizers will be monitoring this chat room and will be available to answer questions and as well as making announcements. It's important that once you land on this page, you actually join the group. So there's a link right here to join this group. So now you're a member of the group. You can see all the other members here. You can tap through them and change the number of members that you wish to see. Once you have signed in and you've joined the American Go Association group, at least 1 hour before the start of each round, we will be posting the pairings to the Go Congress website. We'll be making announcements on this group that the pairings are live. Once you see that, you'll be able to click on a link or just navigate directly to the Go Congress website, which is gocongress.org. Once you're on the Go Congress website, you could consider donating, but for our purposes, you want to go to Go Congress Tournaments and Events and navigate to the Go Congress Open page here. On this page, you'll find a bunch of the tournament settings and information, so if you have any questions, you can reference this. There will also be a link to a more in-depth version of the rules where everything is spelled out very clearly that you can look at if you want. And again, if you have any questions about the tournament settings or anything else to do with the tournament, please feel free to ask a question in the American Go Association OGS chat room or to email the tournament director. Once you're on this page, there will be a link to the pairings. I'm going to post it up here at the very top in bold, so it's very easy to find. The pairings are going to look like this. This is a totally sample pairing with an incomplete player list. So if you're hoping to get a head start on who you may be playing, this is absolutely inaccurate, and I would not rely on it. Once you have this page, one thing to note is that it will generally be organized by player strength. So if you're a 2Q, you're probably going to find yourself down here where all the other 2Qs are being played. Important to note that you can also search, you'll be able to search this document. So if I'm a player in this tournament looking to find who my opponent is, I can search for myself in this sheet. My name is test account 12, and here I found myself here. So I'm a 1-dan, I'm playing not Dan, another 1-dan on table 74. So now I know who my opponent is. It's important to note that on this pairing sheet, you're going to see two pieces of critical information. This number over here on the far right, this is the handicap. If your game is going to be handicapped, and it's very unlikely it will in this tournament because the player base is so large, the handicap will be noted here. Only play a handicap game if you see a handicap notation in this column. Also important to note is that your player, the color that you will be playing will be assigned here. So players in the left-hand column will be playing white for this round, and players in the right-hand column will be playing black. Please pay attention to this and make sure that you set your game settings appropriately based on which color you're playing. So now I know who my opponent is. And let's say it's time to start the round. So I'm here on OGS, I'm going to look for my opponent. So I can click on this hamburger menu on the left-hand side here and go to search. I'm going to search for my opponent, who's not Dan. And I see him here, not Dan. Please pay attention to the exact username in here. These are the usernames that players have submitted with their registration. You can verify that the person you intend to play is your actual opponent by clicking on them and sending them a message and just asking them and confirming that they're ready to play or that they will be ready to play at the start of the round. Once it's game time, you can press this button to challenge them to a game. Either player can challenge either player to a game. Only one person needs to do it, so whoever gets there first wins. Now that I've challenged my opponent, I'm going to format the game name. So we suggest that you do something, you format the game name as it is outlined in the 2020 Go Congress OGS handbook. In section 4.1, there's a section on setting up the game, and you can see an example of it here. So for this tournament, we want to follow this recommended setting. So open for the US Open, R1, that means round 1. This would get updated for round 2, round 3, or round 4. And B17, that's for board, and then the board number that you're playing at. So we want to make sure that this game is not private, that this game is not ranked, and that we're playing on board size 19 by 19. For the rules, we want to make sure that we're playing at the AGA rule set. Game speed, we want to play live. We want our time control to be Byoyomi. We want our main playing time to be 1 hour, our time period of 30 seconds, and 5 periods. If you're playing at a handicap, again, it will be noted in your pairing sheet, so please only touch this or keep it at none unless your handicap is noted in the pairing sheet. Komi is automatic. This will correct it to the appropriate Komi based on handicap and the rule set. Komi is by default in an even game, 7.5 points for white in AGA rules. Your color, please make sure to change this based on the color that was assigned to you in your pairing sheet. So I'm playing white in this game, so I'm going to be sure to select white. Very, very important is that you disable analysis. We want to try to keep these games as fair and transparent as possible, so please disable analysis for all of your games. Once you have all of these settings correct, and you can double check that these settings are correct by visiting the Go Congress, the tournament page on the Go Congress website where all the information will be posted, as well as a screenshot of what this should look like for the US Open. You can send the challenge to your opponent.
Challenge received.
So now I'm waiting for my opponent to receive this challenge. Since I happen to be both players in this round, I can now go to the other account, not Dan here, and I can see 2 places that I've received a challenge. One, on the home page, I have a big challenge box here, and I can see all of the match information here in the description to verify that my opponent has set up the game correctly. I'll also get a notification to my browser or by email if I've chosen those settings on OGS. Also, you'll get a notification in the top right corner here, and I can accept the game from here. So now that I'm ready to play, I'll click this check.
Game started.
And I've entered the game with my opponent. Let's say hi, good luck, have fun, and begin the game. So now that the game has started, we have a couple of options of things that we can do during play. If you need to pause the game for any reason, you can go to the menu over here on the right, and you can pause the game. If for any reason you need to call a moderator into the room due to some issue, you can call a moderator using this button here. If you want to link to the game in order to share this with a TD or with somebody who wants to observe, you can link to the game directly here. Also take note that OGS links are permanent, and you can share the link from the URL with anybody at any time and navigate to this game. Before you start your first round, there are a number of OGS settings that you may want to look at. In order to access them, you can go to the menu up here on the top left and go to the settings all the way down here on the bottom. I highly recommend that you look at the sound settings before you start your first game so that you're not surprised by any strange noises or voices coming through your computer during your match, and also so that you can set up notifications so that you don't miss anything important happening on OGS or in your game. You can adjust the volume settings, the game voices, and the notifications for basically any event that happens within OGS. So please take a look at this and customize these to your preference. I suggest having notifications on for almost everything so that you don't miss anything important. You can also change game preferences. One of the important things in this menu is how you submit your move. Take a look at this and make sure it matches what you want to do. You can set it to one click to move, which will place the stone as soon as you click your mouse. You can set it to double click to move, which will place the stone when you give a double click, or you can use the submit move button, which will create a submit move button when you click the stone to place it, when you click your mouse to place the stone on the board. One other thing you can do is turn on email notifications. You can select exactly how you would want these preferences set, but email notifications are a good idea to ensure that you don't accidentally miss anything important happening on OGS. You should remember that at the top right of the screen is the notification center. Here you can find notifications for important events happening on OGS. You can also customize the theme of OGS. You can change it from day mode or to night mode. And you can also change the style and texture of the Go board and Go stones that you'll be playing with online. If you have any specific questions about how OGS works, please reference the Ego Congress Handbook or visit the OGS documentation FAQ section, which you can access through the left-hand menu here. Once your game is completed, please visit the link for the results submission form, which you will find on the US Go Congress website, as well as being posted into the AGA group chat room. On this form, only one player needs to submit results. Please submit a valid email address, select the round for which you just played, add in the board number that you just played on, add the full OGS username for the black player and the full OGS username for the white player, as well as the result of the game, either black wins or white wins. Please only use this other button if a TD has specifically said that you should use the other button. If you received a bye for this round because of the result of an uneven number of players, you will select a win for yourself. If you received a bye for this round because your opponent no-showed, you will also select a win for yourself. Please remember to have fun, respect your opponents, and play your best. Thank you for your interest in the US Open. Good luck and have fun to everyone.